Well, hello, hello, hello. I am so glad to be here. As always, the idea, insight, or sales secret you need for massive impact is just moments away. It's time to get more clients. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get More Clients. I'm your host, Lynn Whitbeck. Business owners and entrepreneurs hire me to ignite winning sales because most are chasing down leads, lack client retention, conversion, and profit. And the mission of this show is to share Fortune 500 sales secrets to help you open the vault to your greater business success. Now, last week I shared what is the number one sales killer and how you avoid it. But today I am joined by the incomparable Lesley Nase, and we will be discussing how your mindset is stopping you from closing more sales. Lesley, I'm thrilled to have you here as always. Lesley is a repeat guest. She is amazing. She is my mindset coach. So this is perfect for today because successful, driven professionals like me hire Lesley to guide them on a spiritual awakening journey. Breakdown, burnout, and the life crisis create a time of feeling an intense pull to live the life they want to live, not the life they are supposed to live. So Lesley helps unravel the challenges of who you think you are supposed to be and embrace who you are by igniting your unique talents. Lesley is a media personality with Client Whispers on the Billionaires and Boxers TV and podcast network, and her TV show, Ignite Your Uniqueness, is right here on the Win Win Women Network. So Lesley, I am so very happy to have you back in the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
It's always a delight to get together with you. And, we both love serving people and helping them be the best that they can. So this is terrific.
Well, today, Leslie and I are going to dive into mindset barriers that are hindering your sales success. And I want you to join us as we explore practical strategies to overcome self-doubt and isolation, empowering you to close more clients with confidence and ease. And by the end of today's show, you will know how to recognize mindset barriers such as self-doubt and isolation, implement practical techniques to enhance confidence and resilience in sales, cultivate a balanced approach to sales that prioritize well-being and effectiveness. And we are going to help you unlock the secrets to transforming your sales mindset and reclaim the control over your sales process, gain the confidence, strategies, and support you need to close more deals with ease and confidence. So, Lesley, you are the expert here. I've already let everyone know that you are my personal mindset coach. And I'm just a quick test. Lesley does amazing work. And I am so lucky to have been working with her and working with her now. So, Lesley, let's dive into how do you recognize mindset barriers such as self-doubt and isolation?
So first of all, I want to just thank you for that short testimonial. And, there's an understanding of what mindset is where we need to be on the right path. Because many times people think the word good mindset is, can be misinterpreted. Like you have to continuously be happy and positive all the time. And that's not necessarily the case. A true good mindset tends to be someone who is friendly, easy to get along with, and generally more team orientated. Having a good sales mindset extends much deeper than that. So I wanted to start with two concepts that were brought up years ago in the book Mindset. And I wish I could remember Carol's her first name, and I don't. I think it's like Dewey. I can't remember her last name, but
I have
she
it on
was.
the back shelf. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, yeah, yeah. She definitely introduced the terms of the fixed mindset and the growth mindset, and that's really important. Many of us might think that we are, well, we're open to change or we're open to suggestion. when we're really not as open as we think we are. We are ones who, you're not open to that new possibility, the new learning opportunities, new ways of doing things to generate. You might just be focused on, well, this is how it's done. This is how it's always been taught. And this is the approach that I know will work. And I would say, yeah. And how's that really working for you? Are you getting the sales that you are looking for? And there are little ways to change that fixed mindset, not to throw out everything you've ever learned, but how do you just tweak a little bit so that you have more of a growth mindset? A person who has a fixed mindset, here's a perfect example. If if they have a failure in their sales process, that can set them back. They think, oh my God, something's not right. I'm really, and it gets too overwhelmed. Where if you have the growth mindset, it requires that you're going to believe and trust that this journey you're on in sales is going to happen. You're mastering sales, you're adopting, and you're ready to go with some, perhaps good utility tools and resources that are designed to enhance that learning and the skills. So, in the short term, how do you get over some of these mindset barriers? Is you take a step back. You really kind of have to start asking those questions on a daily basis. You know, did this work for me? Is this what I truly believe? And is this something that's really going to make that impact and connect with people that I want it to? And if the answer is really no, then there's a barrier there. There's a way to move through that, but you have to be able to recognize within yourself.
Yeah, and I actually want to give a really practical example. So I've already
Hmm.
revealed I'm working with Lesley, and so I, in my business, I've been going through a big shift of moving my ESP, which is my email service provider, and we all know what that's like if you've ever done it.
Yeah.
And so, and this is not necessarily sales, but that's a key part of my sales process is the
Right.
ESP that I use. And I have a master class that I'm doing and a new workshop that I'm going to be offering. And one of the things is that with all this going down, that whole the workshop landing page, it isn't built. I mean, I've got a lot of pieces I've started to that I've assembled, but it's just
Hmm.
been very disruptive. And so yesterday, so 2 days before the master class, before the workshop, I'm literally hyperventilating and panicking.
Yeah.
And when you are really a highly functioning individual, it's just sort of like it just threw me out of my stride that I have to
Right.
have this landing page built. I've got to have the first part of the welcome sequence built. And instead, I went and did one of the exercises that Lesley has trained me on. And I also used another exercise that really incorporates that well, which is called the chair of joy. But those two
Hmm.
combined, and I went and stopped. I did. I took that moment to pause
Yeah.
and to reframe my mindset and say, okay, do I have to have a landing page? No, I don't.
Right.
And it was like I just started to step back. And it's like also, if you have any tendency towards perfectionism, once again, and it's that instead of having a fixed mindset, it was the ability to stop with the training that she's provided so that I could reframe and take a look and say, is this true? Do I really need to have this? The answer was no. I don't need to have this. Let it go. What
Yeah.
do you have to have? What's the minimum that has to be in place? And I've actually got it right here. I mapped it out on this little sheet of paper what I needed to have, and it was actually super simple. And so instead of being freaking out all day, because I was honestly, I was unglued at 9 a.m.
Hmm.
I ended up being able to reframe everything and get through my day, get through the work that I needed to get done more effectively and efficiently because I stopped and I asked the questions and I could reveal that no, that wasn't true.
Right.
And what can I do? And that's the beauty of what Lesley is illustrating here. And I just had to throw that out there because I don't know if I would have been able to do that 6 months ago. So it's
Yeah.
so important that literally I would have been spinning my wheels until the wee hours of the night trying to figure this out. I would have worked until gosh knows.
Hmm.
Instead, I stopped. And
Right.
I want to thank you for that. So let's
Oh,
dive in because I've just been talking about practical techniques that you can use to enhance your confidence and resilience in sales, or in this case, to stop, pause, reframe. So, Lesley, what would you like to share?
well, I just want to add on to what you said. I love it again that you're taking the tools and you're making them work. And that is one of the keys for all of us is to be able to take the tools that we learn. I do little short videos right now, and yesterday was a biohack, and that biohack is that like if you've got stress and that's what you are under, you got this stress, you step back and you pause. And in this little biohack, one of the easiest ways that you can do is be like the animals in your life, dogs in particular. Dogs go at it with each other and then they walk away and it's like, oh, yeah, I'm done, and they do exactly that. You shake it off, and that physical movement is a biohack within your body that goes, okay, you know, and now you can recenter and regroup. So you asked what practical techniques you can use to enhance the confidence and resilience in sales. I love this little quote from Andrew Carnegie, and he said one time, he says, I wish to have my epitaph read, here lies a man who was wise enough to bring into his service people who knew more than I. And he used the term man, but here we are in the day of pronouns. So I kind of did change that a little bit. But that is one way to gain confidence. Bring in someone that you know who's wise enough, who knows more than you do, one way or another through it. And I did write down some really specific things to enhance the sales in particular technique. And number one that I found is connect sales to your purpose. I am all about making sure that you are really connected to your purpose. Full disclosure, all of us are salespeople. All of us, one way or the other, are selling ourselves, whether it's in the way that we dress, whether it's in the way that we speak, the way that we greet people. So make the connection between, your sale, whatever it is you're selling, and your purpose in life. Because when you do that, you're interconnecting that, and it's a way that you're giving back to your community. It's a mindset, you know, twist. Because if this is your purpose and that you really love what you're doing, then you're giving back to your community and you're there for your family and you're sharing your knowledge with others. The second one that I'd really give is to be genuine. You and I, Lynn, have had these conversations about not number one, being genuine in who you are, and that sometimes we love what we do so much that we just want to share it with everybody, right? We've got to tell you all of this. But that fundamental thing about being a genuine in your sale is to naturally share your passion, not to overwhelm those around you with just trying to let me sell you this product. Let me tell you how this is going to help your life when you know nothing about that person. So your passion and your purpose is what, when you're sharing in small little bits, it's going to be having someone go, what'd you say? Wait, you're drawing people more to you, and it allows you to build a reputation with them because you know more about their life, their what their needs are, and it's that law of reciprocity, which Lynn loves to talk about. And I'm going to give you one more, and this is always be connecting. No matter what it is and where you're going in life, you are connecting with people. You don't know what that person that you meet, what they're, who they know, right? They may not be your customer, but they may know somebody who is. And if they like you, then they're going to talk about you to someone else. And that's the mindset of a successful business person, is to be focused on connecting, not closing a deal. You're building rapport. And this is allowing you to that know, like, and trust factor. That's what this is. This is, you're getting people to trust you. You're getting others to listen to you and ultimately influence them to consider your solution. That's where it is. And make sure you have a solution.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about building relationships. I love what you were suggesting in that twist. And we're all selling. Even if you've never worked
Mhm.
a day in your life in sales, you're selling to your family which restaurant you're going to go to for dinner or what movie you're going to watch on
Yeah,
Netflix. So,
right.
and it is a natural part of our literally day-to-day life. But I do want to add a little piece about resilience that I think is an important sales
Hmm.
tip here that's about mindset. And that's when you hit that no. And I want everybody to remember that no is a no, usually for not now. It's rarely not ever. And sometimes the no is that they're not your ideal client. That's not something that they need that's going to help them with their so they can, right? But they could become this relationship. They could still become a partner or a
Right.
promoter. And that connection is always very valuable. And so remember that for that resilience, and that does require, especially in sales, more than anything, that is a skill you need to cultivate of resilience, is that no is a no for not now. And that's part of also what Lesley had touched on early on with the mindset, is that you can shift your mindset. You have to make a conscious choice that this is just not working. Why is it not working? And how am I
Hmm.
going to shift it? And it doesn't happen overnight. All
No.
right. It takes time to shift your mindset. And sometimes I can be another beautiful example that
Hmm.
that there's been a problem. For me, there was a problem in my business I was fully aware of literally for years. And it took a lot for me, in fact, working with Lesley to finally break down all the barriers, those hidden things that were blocking me from making a shift. And when the floodgates started to open, I started pulling those bricks down one by one, and it became quicker and quicker. But there's often something that's deep down, and it could be
Hmm.
bound to your childhood, which is very common. Lesley can speak more about this, but you have to work on that to figure it out, and then to disassemble that limiting belief, so that you can make that shift that you actually know needs to be made, whether it's in your sales or your business, in your life. And sometimes those things are all combined.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a really important piece. So, Lesley, how do
Can
you
I just
cultivate?
add before
Yeah,
we go to
absolutely.
that
Yeah, yeah,
next question?
absolutely.
Because I
Absolutely.
had that in my list and I didn't go down far enough. So I do have a section on build resilience because I think it's important, especially, and it follows up wonderfully to what you were talking about, but especially in this day and age with so many things changing and changing quickly. So, I wanted to tell you that even with an incredible salesperson, mentally and all the right skills, you won't be successful 100% of the time. Failure in all of our lives is a part of business. It's part of that growth, right? How do you learn and expand without a few bumps? So, those who figured out how to turn obstacles into opportunities and keep getting back up even after major failures, and you and I have talked about this in our own lives, in our own business, are the ones who become successful. So there's a kind of inner strength that comes from, just as you said, cultivating a deep belief in yourself and letting nothing hold you back. So that really kind of rounds out what you were talking as well. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's about investing in yourself too.
Hmm.
Because I mean it's like, you know, we know someone in common who says I'll always take that bet when it's a bet on myself, right?
Yeah.
So all right, so that's lovely. And I want to get into this last piece of the conversation of how the people who are tuning in, they're listening and they're going, I don't even know where to start. You know, how do you cultivate a balanced approach? Now, and this is to sales in this context, but it can be
Right.
to other aspects of your career, your work, your life, that really prioritizes well-being and effectiveness so that you, and how does that translate into, you know, the what we're talking about, growth mindset.
Well, one of the aspects in growth mindset, and it's again, sometimes I want to make sure that fixed growth one over the other, it's not bad. It's there are sometimes you're going to go flow back and forth, right? But the growth mindset is the one that most often and that we need at this time. And so create solutions, really asking those questions about people don't need more stuff. They want more time, more energy, more productivity, right? They're looking for solutions to the problem. And in sales, that's how you can fulfill, determine how your solution does this. How do you fulfill that need and connect it to everyday situations that you're in? And then you're in that sales mindset. And hopefully, I mean, if I take this a little bit differently, I absolutely believe that everything I teach can be done on a daily basis. At
Yeah.
first, you're going to have to do little by little. Like you said, brick by brick comes down and it changes. The other thing that's really important is to adopt empowering habits. Your daily habits affect every other area of your life. And that's so important, right? Whether it's the morning ritual of how you start the day, maybe it's the healthy eating or the exercise, giving you energy and vitality, you need to really work on those goals that you want in your business or you're in your life. So there's practical ways in which to take that positive sales mindset and attract even more positivity. And this is, people have heard this, and it's a law of attraction, but I don't want to oversimplify it here. There is a way, and I don't want it to be out of blown out of proportion. But the key to this is really adopting empowering habits. That's a deeper conversation. So take a look at your habits, ditch any that aren't empowering. And it's just in the end, what really sets apart the mindset of a successful business person from those who are mediocre is the commitment to constant and never ending improvement. The best salespeople know that they're never done learning and growing. They take every opportunity, and this is true whether you're a salesperson or not, take every opportunity to feed your mind, learn from others, and gain new skills. And if you do that, you'll be unstoppable. Are you going to have times that you need it? And we talked a little bit about isolation in being one of those barriers that you talked about in the beginning. And this is the way people do feel isolated. They do feel like there's no one there for support. There are people there. You don't do it alone. None of us does it alone. Find yourself a coach, a mentor, someone to accountability partner, whatever it is, to help you through those times. And that is one of the best ways to enhance any growth mindset and your wellness and to be effective in life.
Yeah. Yeah. Or a group, a meetup that you can
Right.
attend virtually or in person, and have that, especially that peer-to-peer connection, so that you can bounce ideas off. And I want to
Hmm.
go through one quick little lesson because I think this is really important that Lesley had really trained me on, is to, that moment where you have to literally physically pause and stop yourself, and then, and, literally the deep breaths, and then saying, does this serve me?
Hmm.
And then how does it serve me? And then I implement something I've used for years, but it's like, well, what's the worst case scenario? And I really look at that. And then what's the best case scenario? And what's the most likely scenario? So, I mean, I sort of meld some things in that I've been doing in the past, but the biggest thing is to truly take that moment to say, how does this serve me? A or B? Yes or no?
Right. Yeah.
And if it's a maybe, well, then how? And even if it is a yes or a no, then, but if it's a yes or a maybe, well, how does it serve me? And
Right.
really, digging into that so that you can, in that moment, it's like a gift to yourself, to
Yeah.
your own sanity.
Nice way. Nicely put. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Lesley, thank you so much for sharing how your
Oh,
mindset
thank
is
you.
stopping you from closing more sales. And as you have revealed, the path is not always easy, but it is undeniably worth your time to shift your mindset. And I'm going to make sure that all of Lesley's contact information is in our show notes. Please connect with Lesley. She is literally one click away. And Lesley, thank you so much. And for
Thank you.
everyone out there, what was your biggest takeaway from this episode? I would love to hear about it. Lesley would love to hear about it. It's important to support the things you love. And if you love this episode, a 5-star review will really help keep the show and the podcast coming to you regularly. Also, if you want to get more sales strategies to grow your business, make sure you subscribe right now. Now, today, Lesley and I explored how your mindset is stopping you from closing more sales. Here's the key. It's for you to implement these steps to stop wasting your time, energy, and resources. And if you want to get results even faster, I invite you to download my sales strategy checklist at petitetoqueen.com/checklist. Now, next week on Get More Clients, I'm going to be staying with this theme, and I'm going to be discussing, is your desire to being liked hurting your sales results? And this has been Lesley Nase and Lynn
Thank you.
Whitbeck. Yes, host of Get More Clients. And I'm sure Lesley will be back. So I'm going to say we'll see you next time. Thank you so much, Lesley.
Thank you. Bye bye.